Hello. I hope you're surviving the apocalypse out there and here or wherever in hell we are. You must be waking up. You must be recognizing there's a call, there's something in you, because this Venom card, I just saw someone also do a U-turn. You're trying to turn around. You're trying to identify the poison in your life. So there's literally something toxic. You've reached up, you've accessed wisdom, you've experienced love, and it went away. And there's this venom, there's this poison in you that you need, don't take it literal, but you need medical attention. You need someone to remove the venom from your body or to put the antidote in. And I see you reaching. So you have identified your connection. There's this bridge you're building in between you and the creator, the divine, divinity in general. I'm seeing you understand what it means to be loved. The language of love, there's an actual language you're identifying. You're curious, you're building something as well. You're building certain pathways in your brain. So I'm sensing that you have felt alone. And you chose prayer or some sort of reaching out as a form of connection because of how lonely it feels. You've made this decision. You've created this reflection, this window into reality that bounces back to you things that make sense. I also feel like you're really in your rational mind. You're very logical at this time, which has forced you into seclusion. You've found a little cozy corner in reality and you're comfortable. But sometimes the comfort doesn't just, it's not what you're seeking. So you're comfortable, but you're not getting what you seek, which is why you've reached out. You're being worked on. You haven't been able to identify love. Look, the Two of Cups, this is literally like reflecting. This is the mirror I was talking about. There's this reflection theme here where you're trying to only put in your life things that represent love, things that represent passion, because there's been so much that your logical mind has built up around you that you're kind of looking around like, I don't love this shit. I don't want this thing. I don't need this. I have so much stuff, but where's the love? And you've created this bridge in the spirit realm. This bridge is, you're reaching out in the dark. You've accepted the unknown might be a good place to go. This is also representing your emotions, all that water underneath. Rainbow waters. So this is like believing in fairy tales, believing in the magic, believing that you can be patient with yourself, because the lesson is when you get too logical, when you allow too much facts and calculations, what we've learned as society is teaching us very, very clearly and vividly in 4K, that so much knowledge can be paralyzing and a detriment to growth, to expansion, and to wisdom, because there's a barrier between knowledge and wisdom that requires a leap of faith that doesn't allow for rational thinking. It doesn't allow for the logical mind. This is where the genius is born. The genius within you. This is why you're creating the rainbow waters, because you're touching the water. The water has the memories of all the tears you've cried and everything that you've experienced. And it knows exactly what you want. Water is not rational, it's fluid, it flows. It fills the container. You give it a cup, it fills it up. It's just like an interesting element that it doesn't require any logic. It doesn't require you to think about it. It just does what it's supposed to do. Just because I don't like how that card came out. If it comes back out, it comes back out. But we really got to take our time here, because the logical mind wants answers. I can just feel you. You just want answers. You want to know something. You're like, give me the fuck. Sorry. This is your mouth, okay? How about you? Yeah, that was a lot of emotions at the beginning and the end there. So it's about evolution. It's about evolving your emotions, because they're obviously a little bit out of control right now. You're like holding on for dear life onto something when your heart's calling you to this new beginning. So the Fool and the Four of Pentacles there, if they come back out, they come back out, and the Knight of Swords wanted to come out. So we'll see what happens. But I sense strongly that your logical mind is wanting to deny something. It doesn't fit in the calculations. It doesn't make sense. But your heart is at odds with your mind, and we're encouraged to put our mind, yeah, we're gonna go with that one. Okay, so I really like this card here. So there's an illumination happening. There's this awakening inside of you. Like, look how bright this card is. Look how loud it is. There's this moment. This is a naked and free, soul uplifting card. You feel like a child in this energy. You feel warm. And I see that after introspection, after you accept that the mind can't compute all the data, sometimes the heart does. And even look at the water. Remember we're talking about the water. You see the water behind them? And then that's the reflection on the water. That's the sun reflecting that rainbow on the water. I'm just... Okay. So we're going to take this slow, because if you really want to expand and grow, it takes stillness. It takes slow. You got to be able to slow down. And I always feel rushed when somebody just wants an answer to a message. They just want to know. They don't want to wait. And I knew it. I knew this Fool was going to come back out. Remember, you just want the answers. This is the exact representation of what I'm feeling, that you're just like rushing into, give it to me now. I want this now. So this is a feeling of a lot of your masculine energy is projecting outward what you want, but you're not being feminine enough to allow it to flow into you. That's the water. It's like the sun is reflecting on the water, so you can see it, you can visualize it, you're understanding what it is, but to some degree, you're not allowing for the receptivity to happen. And that's a lot about this Venom here. This Venom card is the factor within you that wants you to believe that either you're going to be paralyzed that's what the venom is. The logic is infecting you to believe that you're paralyzed and you can't move because your heart's pulling you that way, but your mind is pulling you that way. In order to go that way, you have to believe in love. And at the moment, you believe in logic, so much so that the love can't flow. It's very interesting. You're working on being less defensive. You're working on your defense system of what belongs in the light. You see that light again, a sun, and there's the water behind her. So a lot of times we learn that love gets us hurt. A lot of us grew up with a hot and cold or just a lie, a version of love that lied to us. And I see that you have been, I'm going to use the word favored because it's like you've been recognized as someone that moves with the intention of doing the right thing, of doing things based in love. And you've fallen short. You have rejected love, and now it's coming back around to you to identify why you reject it. And it's because you've been poisoned. Most likely, not literally. You know, we don't know what people are doing out there though, so like, be careful. But I'm literally seeing you need to eject this poison from your system, and you're reaching to the spiritual realm to see where it's hiding. It's hiding in the dark. That one's also in reverse. So that was the beginning and the split that happened earlier. This is like the wild card also. So it's almost like, I gotta look at it for a second. There's all that water. I see you testing. I see you wanting to be brave, wanting to be courageous, wanting to be someone who can be a source of unconditional love. You're looking through your third eye with love. That gave me chills. So I see you in the spirit world looking for vibrations. So you're seeing lights. So if we close our eyes and see just vast darkness, I see you looking around and looking for what's glowing, what's luminescent, what's vibrant, what's colorful. That's how you know love. And us in a vibrational level, or without the physical eyes, if you turn off the physical eyes and you just look with your spiritual eye, you see this vibration that only brings in color, that helps you to see what's dark in your life. That's helping you to push out this venom. It literally won't, I wanted to say hate, but the hate and the logic can't exist when you feel such a high vibration of love. It just doesn't get to interact. It doesn't get to experience you, or you build this film, this layer, this protection That's what you're building. That's what you're building over here. Look at you building. You're really building yourself. You're laying your seeds. You're working on the project here. You're the project though. You're a project that you're building and working on to change your circumstances, because the wheel here, you're really wanting to really spin this wheel in a different direction. There's a lot that's happened. There's a lot that's gonna happen. And there's this double mind playing out. When you're double-minded, things are scary, things are confusing. Delusions, while I support and encourage delusion, obviously, I know there's a fine line between being so delusional that you can't put your feet on the earth. And that's where your error has been. There's the foundation. You can't put your feet on the earth, and we got women floating on a rock in outer space in this card. They're floating in the sky. You see what I'm saying? This card represents foundation. This card represents stability. Yet they're floating on a rock in the sky. Because you're trying to identify, look at all the colors, all the rainbow. They're meditating, they're connecting, they're listening. They're being a student. Because you've understood the proper foundation is putting this rock and a floating rock in the sky, a little bit delusional, a little bit grounded. There's still an earth to stand on, but you recognize you got to be a little bit cuckoo, you got to be a little bit crazy to be grounded right now. Logic will have you calculating every step to your death, and that's the poison. We don't need to calculate that far. That's ridiculous. What's happening right now in the moment, today. You're getting out of grief. So this is a frame of mind. There's all that water. You're accepting a part of you. Sometimes we literally got to be there to console ourselves. I have to look to the side because I'm looking into some other space and time. Like it's over there somewhere. I can't just be looking at you or myself or the camera. It's weird. Justice. So there's that, see the double mind, the two people coming out. This is a rebirth and right and wrong, and what is logic for and what is the irrational mind for. You're deciding and weighing the pros and cons, or you're weighing. This is why I also said you were favored, because the card of justice represents something in your life that it now is coming to, like something is being, think about a judge, like a judge assesses a situation and tries to make the right decision. So every step you've taken thus far is being assessed, and you're being favored, meaning it's going to go in your favor because you're identifying where you've been logical, and it's just been so overwhelming that caused you to go in this hole, this hermit, this cave. And now you're like ready to jump into the ocean and swim with the fish here. You're ready to become a mermaid when everyone's telling you that's not possible. You can't be a mermaid. You know, someone told you couldn't be a mermaid, and you're like, bitch, watch me be a mermaid. Like Watch me be a mermaid. That's what you said. You said, I'm done with this shit. I want to apologize for cussing because I swear it's not appropriate. But like, if I do cuss, it just makes sense sometimes. Sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes it's heavy. Teamwork. Love requires accepting of others. It requires us to we got old, new, teamwork, and winter, a bunch of blue and green, heart chakra and water. Emotions. You're gonna really enjoy when you can turn off all this logic and walk into something that's going to restart you. Like I'm seeing bugs and everybody in the winter freezing to death and then being revitalized and reborn in the spring. So you're really turning off. That's the venom as well. Because by going inside like that, going in that dark place, you're able to see now what no longer serves you and what's going to bring in what it is you're looking for. I'm not here to make decisions for you, right? No one on the internet's here to make decisions for you. But it's like, you need a little bit of faith and trust in yourself. So you were likely to have not have had a parent that bonded with you in a way that made you trust love. Yeah. Look, a funnel. So I'm seeing like how this funnel represents I don't know how to describe that. It's like you have this funnel and I see a parent giving you love in a funnel. And it's like restricted love. So there's something about the way that your parent loved you that made you believe that how it comes in. Okay, so just as an example, let's say you're a feminine looking for a guy, and this guy doesn't make 6 figures or whatever. He doesn't make a lot of money, and your teachings taught you that he's not valuable. So now you're assessing where you learned that and what makes you believe in that kind of stuff, and what that's doing. It's almost creating this overflow. It's not letting things just flow in because now it's so it's something about it's just overfilled. Okay. Your mind is full of it. Your mind is full of what you've been told, not what you actually believe after you've assessed the data. That's why the wisdom comes in. So I'm seeing this as bread can be so many metaphors. Your bread, you're identifying the breadcrumb, what breadcrumbing love is and what real love is. So when somebody is on your team and supports you and makes bread for you, or how far a loaf or a bag of flour can go if we have to produce a lot of bread. Like, there's so many variations. I'm seeing the parent taking all the flour and dumping it in the funnel, and you're just like, okay, that's enough flour. I don't need any more flour. It's overflowing with flour. I can't even make bread. So you're learning all the ways bread can be made, all the ways that something can mutate. Spiritual love. See what I'm saying? Look, spiritual love, the lily. This is why you've reached out. This is why we started off talking about you reaching out to love, because you've now identified a spiritual love, something beyond human love, something deeper than what's funneled to you or what's breadcrumbs to you. I've been getting heartburn lately in readings, so I'm sorry. It's this weird like sensation that gets me clogged up. And you know, it's the time we're in. It's the time we're in. Heartache over what you no longer have. Exactly. It's very difficult. Let's say you were raised by a narc. Somebody who is just, I don't know, they want to live their life through you. They want to dump their shit on you, something like that, right? And you're just like, you're no longer willing to feel this pain for them. That's what it is. Can I get these cards or no? So somebody trauma dumped on you or dumped their burden on you, and now this venom inside of you, you're looking to exercise, you're looking to remove. And I think you're just struggling with trust, like who to trust, who to believe in, who to, where's it coming from? You want to know where it's coming from. Where's the attack? Where's the enemy? What kind of snake was it when you get to the hospital? What kind of snake bit you, so we can get the proper antidote or whatever. And you're like, I don't know, maybe it was a rattlesnake. Maybe it was I don't know what they're called. The black one that we don't want to bite us. There's probably a lot of black snakes we don't want to bite us. But you get there and they're like, tell us now. And you're like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. Because it happened to you so young. You were very young. Okay, so, and this could be traumatic for some, and we're just gonna leave it there, but this could have been actual abuse. This could have been abuse. You could have been sexualized or something like that as a child. Or because your sexual nature, you could have been attacked for that reason. You could have been attacked for your beauty. You could have been attacked for your kindness, your love, your passion. This could be a favoritism with parents. So I see parents using children against each other. It's ugly. It's absolutely ugly. Yeah, the kiss, the bond, the heart. See what I'm saying? This is such a loving reading, but it's dark. It's like dark love. We gotta be able to talk about the dark stuff too and find love in it. The heart and the kiss. This is like sailing away to true love, even if it's alone. It's like, I'm willing to be alone if that's what it takes, but I will certainly choose love. And sometimes love is choosing yourself. Sometimes love is a lonely experience. It's something where you wake up every day and do everything you love, but it's solo, and that's fine. Maybe it's with a pet, or it's just about having a companion. You could There's a lot you can do with love. You can go open a business, a foundation, you know, there's so much you can do with love. Love is the answer. So what animal is going to help you right now? What animal? If that's the dragonfly, we put it back. Because we're not going to put it back. We're going to get another one. Because I got this recently, so you should watch that one. I believe it was like 1 or 2 readings ago. Truth transcends illusion. You're seeing now clearly. You got ancestors that got your back. They don't like what happened to you. And you're identifying the truth now. 22, 2, 2, 2. We literally got 2s, 4, 8. We do got a 5 and a 7 as well. 11, 12. I can't do the Roman numerals, guys. Ooh, porcupine spirit. And the owl. You see clearly now. Like, there's somebody in your life that you could look them dead in the eye and not say a word, but with the wisdom, if you look them dead in the eye with the wisdom you have, you're gonna see their entire soul shriek. Their essence, their soul is just gonna be like white, like, they caught me. They know about me. Like, that's how soul piercing this is. And then bear was behind that. We've got a horse. It's time to be free. Porcupine. Time for a beginner mind. We're actually going to read this. I haven't read the porcupine in years. So I'm going to read this one. Because obviously the porcupine represents a lot. We got another 4 and an 8. 4 years old, 8 years old, some memories of that time could be useful right now. Speaking to your 4-year-old self, your 8-year-old self. I think there's a big difference between the 4 and 8-year-old self of you. There's something that happened between ages 4 and 8 that dramatically changed the trajectory of your life. So let's read that. Because time for a beginner mind. You're trying to go back to that beginner mind that you had, but when it was tainted though. I'm seeing a little child talk to their parent and the parent's just busy. You know, parents, sometimes it's intentional, sometimes it's not. Time for a beginner mind. Okay. We'll read that. Let's see what you need to know. When porcupine spirit calls your name, you are being asked to adopt a beginner's mind and to approach situations with innocence and curiosity. The old confining stories no longer have a hold on you. Life is full of surprises hiding in plain sight. Looking at the word afresh, I'm sorry, I try to read. Looking at the world afresh with new eyes can help you find what you have been seeking. Whether it is a relationship, an opportunity, or evidence that you have all you need right now to co-create with your desire, who knew? Porcupines ask you to be playful and have a childlike curiosity. There is so much waiting for you that you have yet to discover. Are you feeling prickly and defensive lately and assuming you will be hurt before you have seen any sign of such a reaction is called for? Perhaps an old sense of guilt and shame is causing you to be cynical and weary when you are meant to be open and curious. Self-protection is a good thing, but you may be protecting yourself from something that will not actually harm you, but instead will bring you abundance, happiness, and love. Remember your innocence, and you will see what you have been overlooking. Porcupine quills are filled with air, allowing a porcupine to float in water. Now is the time to let your innocent nature keep you buoyant. See what I'm saying? It was the water. Like now we got the porcupine floating in water, the innocence, the child. So the defensiveness is the logic. The logic that you have, these logical calculations are hindering you from speaking to your child self, your child version of you, because of so much that you've learned in time that has poisoned and polluted your mind. That's why we had to read it as well. And it didn't want to talk. It didn't want to just give us the answer. It wanted us to literally understand the message. So that's what I have for you. Look at that porcupine. It's there. We need the defenses. We have to defend ourselves from attack, for real. Like, people are crazy. But at some level, when the threat is gone and we assess the situation, we identify we might be a little paranoid or overdoing it or far away from our heart because we're so scared to open it that we don't let anything in. I see you identifying that and removing it and growing and expanding and finding that spiritual love that you've been looking for. So good job. Be proud of yourself and don't be hard on yourself. It took a minute to get here, but you made it. So that's what I have. Thanks so much.